Hey guys, welcome to So Basic. It's Irene. Today I'm going to do a review of a product called Glandex. It's supposed to be for anal gland health, and if you don't know what it is, I suggest you click off and try to pretend you've never heard of it. I grew up with plenty of dogs, big and small, some medium size, and I've never dealt with this issue before in my entire life. But apparently, it's a modern dog problem. Dogs have these glands by their little butt, and they generally tend to release this fluid every time they defecate. However, some dogs have a hard time releasing these fluids by themselves. I believe they're saying that a higher fiber diet, basically the density and the quality of the stool matters a lot, because basically the firmer and bigger the poops, the more likely your dog is able to express themselves naturally. What happens when they don't have the ability to do that naturally? It gets all stopped up and it starts leaking out of their butt. And it's not actually their butt, but it's the glands by the butts, but that's a whole specific thing that hopefully you never have to find out about. Anyways, it's smelly, it's gross, and it's uncomfortable for them. So oftentimes you'll see dogs scooting or licking their behind. Luckily, Sheba cannot reach her backside like that, and she has no interest in cleaning herself. Thank God, because I kiss those lips. Some dogs, you can see them scooting or licking their behind, which is kind of gross. Anyways, it's been suggested over the years by a variety of different vets, but I've kind of tried to do a DIY approach, and it wasn't a cost-saving measure because actually if you buy all the ingredients separately, it tends to probably be about the same price, if not more. I added some organic pumpkin powder as well as some organic ground flaxseed. Both are higher in fiber and dogs like the taste, and basically to bulk up the poop. And it's been helping quite a bit, but it just isn't doing what I need it to do. It's just not consistent. And I think the issue is that there are a couple more ingredients that are included in the Glandex that might be helpful. And I realized I did the math, and I think ultimately the effective dosage for her weight class, it's actually cheaper to do this versus do it all separately. But the reason why I did all those ingredients separately, or try to, was because she's pretty sensitive, and what happens is with separate ingredients you could start slowly implementing it into her diet, and then if something's irritating, you can usually tell what is irritating her. So initially I did the pumpkin powder first for about a week, gradually increased the dosage of the amount. I mean, it's the same with any animal, right? If you start eating lots of vegetables all of a sudden, your body's going to respond to that, and it changes the way you poop, it changes your gas, all that kind of other stuff. All those pleasant things that you never want to think about, and here I am mentioning it. Anyways, so I started increasing it to the maximum dosage, which is like a 1/4 teaspoon for her based on her weight and size. And then I included the flaxseed. So it'd be very obvious to me what was off, versus if you have something like that that has several ingredients, several active ingredients that could potentially irritate her, but I wouldn't be able to figure out which one, and then I'd have to check the whole thing out. But push comes to shove, and I think I'm going to give this a try. It has a lot of different active ingredients. I like that it has the pumpkin seed powder, which they spelled wrong. They spelled it pumpkin seed powder. It's hilarious. Let me see if you guys can see that. Pumpkin seed powder. Isn't that hilarious? Anyways, pumpkin seed powder. Pumpkin seed powder is, I think, what they're trying to say. Some apple pectin cellulose powder, quercetin, and then they have a bunch of probiotics, ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, vitamin E, and bromelain. And basically everything's supposed to work in tandem together to create a healthy digestive tract, and also healthier stools. And I like it. I mean, if it works, it'll be great. This is beef liver flavor. I know that's a flavor that she likes. It is, I believe, 8 calories per teaspoon. She only needs, according to this, a 1/4 teaspoon to every day. So it's pretty low calorically, which is great, because one of the things I didn't want to do, because they kept pushing the treats and stuff at the veterinarian office, I don't want to add extra calories to her diet if it's not, performing, I mean, it is performing a function, but I just didn't want to increase calories in her diet. I believe the chews, each chew is about 13 calories each. And for a small dog, that does add up, because I think totally she's only supposed to have 300 calories. She's on a weight loss journey. She doesn't like it. Anyways, so initially they said give half the recommended amount for the first 5 to 7 days. So we'll be doing this tonight. I'll give you guys a demo of how I add it. It's going to be interesting because the recommended dosage for 15 to 25 pound dogs, so that's the class that she's in, is 1/4 teaspoon. And so I'm supposed to do half of that. I'm just going to eyeball it, but it's just funny because a lot of places don't sell the 1/8, which is half of the 1/4. So that'll be interesting, but it's very specific. Hopefully we'll see some improvements. I'm just hoping for firmer, larger poops and more consistently. I do feel like some of the pharmaceutical products that she has does impact her gut health. Like whenever she gets the flea and tick medication, it messes her tummy. It makes sense. You're literally putting chemicals on your dog. And even though it's topical, skin tends to be the largest organ in most animals' bodies, and you're absorbing a lot of chemicals. It would upset anybody. For instance, they say for humans, don't have it on you at all. If you do get it in your eyes, call poison control and wash it off your skin immediately, etc. And you can't, I believe, like for a dog, flea and tick medication, if you get a cat, it could be fatal. So it's serious business, and I do think that impacts her overall gut health. And the thing is, like, the softer the stool, if your dog has diarrhea, that softer stool, that means it's not pushing out the fluids, and your dog's supposed to push out the fluids every time it defecates, so that can create a buildup. I'm just hoping that this will help her a lot. I have a theory, though, that a lot of dogs are actually getting manually expressed by their veterinarian or at the groomers, and that sort of prevents them from exercising the regular and biological function that they naturally all have. And I think that's part of the issue of why a lot of modern dogs are having anal gland issues, because growing up, I didn't see a lot of dogs scooting their butt unless it was worms. She's on heartworm and dewormer medication, so I know that's not it. And she just did a fecal test. She is free of all those types of things. So it's definitely an anal gland issue. Over time, if you express it too much, they no longer have the ability to express it themselves, which means more backing up, which means more scooting, which means more trips to the vet, and it's like a whole terrible cycle. So I'm hoping to break the cycle. I hope she tolerates it. She likes beef liver. I'll show you how I sprinkle it on her first meal, and then I will follow up as she poops. That's never something I thought I would ever say, but I will follow up as she poops. And in 5 to 7 days, hopefully it is good. I got this on Amazon for $17.99. I was gonna buy it on Petco. They had some sort of discount, but obviously you have to buy a certain amount to get the free shipping. I missed that discount by a day. It ended up being the same price. And actually they didn't sell this size at Petco. This is the smallest size you can get for the powder. It is a 2.5 ounce. I know this looks really tiny, but they only need like a little bit of dusting, at least for the smaller dogs. So it should help. And one of the things that's also promising, going back to the ingredients, is that bromelain, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, it's supposed to really help the digestive tract, and it's supposed to help soothe the stomach for healthier bowel movements and such. It didn't have a lot of ingredients in here. It was just the active ingredients, and the only inactive ingredients was the it's a fancy word for dried beef liver powder, rice flour, and sorbate acid. I think the chews actually had a lot more ingredients, and more ingredients means more potential for allergens and more potential for reactivities. And we're gonna test this puppy out, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Go over sort of what you get when you order it. So it just came in one of these regular mailers from Amazon, and it's just the bottle. That was it in the package. I do like that it is sealed. You know, I love seals and packaging, good packaging. So I'm gonna pop this open when I use it for her, when I do her dinner tonight. I believe it's a daily serving, so you only have to do it once a day. Yeah, daily amount. And let me tell you if there are any expiration dates. There are. So this expires June, this expires June 2025, so there's plenty of time to go through this. And the nice thing is, after the 5 to 7 day half dose period, you can sort of up the ante, if you will, on this anal gland support supplement. So this is just her bowl of kibble. It's 3 tablespoons. And then we're gonna go ahead and add the Glandex. And let me open it in front of you guys so you guys can get a sense of what it looks like. So, love the seal. Just gonna peel it back. And this is what it looks like. So there you go. That's what the powder looks like. Tiny 1/4 measuring spoon. So this would be the whole proportion for when she starts taking it regularly, but we need half of that. And I wish I had a 1/8 one, but I don't, and they often don't sell it because not a lot of people bake with 1/8 teaspoon as a measuring tool. So that looks like, well, a little bit less than half. There we go. That looks, I think that's about half of that, which would be 1/8. So I'm gonna dust it into the kibble. And I'm gonna mix it around so that way it evenly coats. And I add her omega-3 fish oil. I put the fish oil, you can see that it's a little bit, so that's why I'm not too worried about the flavor. And because it's going to be coated in this delicious fish oil that she loves anyways. But a little bit too much fish oil for my taste. There's usually like a lot of other things like pumpkin powder and ground flaxseed to kind of bind with the fish oil, but now it's just this stuff. And I like to, so this is unseasoned dried seaweed, and I like to crush it into her food. She loves the umami of it, and it actually is a source of a lot of nutrients. So it's a really good topper without a lot of calories. I think 1/4 of one sheet of dry seaweed is about it's about 5 calories. It's a really good topper. There you go. Appears as though she's taken a liking to it. She's eating it. Haven't had any pushback on the flavor. Again, I think, having it covered in fish oil and her usual dried seaweed kind of helps. But no protest from her. Side eye, but no. Good girl, Mama. Go ahead and eat your mamas. Good girl. Yes, honey. Let's hope it helps your booty. Yes, I love you. Good girl. And comment down below. Let me know. Do you guys have dogs with any gland issues? Have you seen dogs scooting? And have you tried this before? Have you had any other home remedies that seem to have helped your pups and kitties? All right, guys. Catch you guys later.